Hi, and thank you so much for joining me today for day 19 of 30 Days of Sketches with Christie's Beautiful Life round 10. Today I'm scrapping some pictures back in 2013 of my children and their cousins at Chester Zoo for the day. We've gone with my mum and dad and my sister, and they had a fabulous day out. But there's this elephant that I've seen plenty of people taking photos of their children on, and our five all wanted to have a go on there, but it was great fun watching them try. My dad tried to help as well, but there definitely wasn't room for more than 4 of them. But this is just a series of photos of them trying that. So I'm using the Vicki Boutin Print Shop papers again, and this sketch really gave me a lot of thought before I started with it. The hilly type pieces at the bottom of the page I wasn't quite sure how to do, but when I saw this paper with a lot of faffing that you can see me doing now and cutting out, I think I managed to create quite a decent representation of it. First of all, I'm going to create that slant at the sketch is upside down here. I hadn't realised that I popped it upside down at the top of the screen. And then I'm going to use some mixed media to create the other hills in the background. And instead of using 2 single photos, you can see I've got the 2 film strip type strips of photos and then the big 4x4 photo, which was my favourite photo of all of the ones that we'd taken, so I wanted to feature that. And the small photos, I just used the Project Life app to create a 6x4 with 6 photos on, which I cut out and then stuck onto a piece of white card just to create those film strip type looks. So you can see here, as I mentioned, I'm messing about with these scallops, trying to work out the placement. At first I'm thinking about having some hanging free like that, but in the end I actually overlap, and I am really pleased with the results in the end, but it takes me a little while of figuring out what to do. And these photos, as I mentioned, they're from 2013. I've still got loads of photos to scrap from all years, so it's great fun for me to go back and forth between the years so I don't get bored. I was getting a bit bored of scrapping some of our holiday photos, which I will go back to, but it's nice to have different subjects and different age groups to work on when you're working on your albums. Do any of you do that? I'm definitely not a chronological scrapper, that's for sure. So I'll leave you, I'm just about there now with this scalloped base, and once that's done we can move on to the mixed media portion. So I decided to stick this bottom piece down first of all before I do the mixed media, so just using some double-sided tape I'll pop that down and then we can start going with the mixed media. So I'm going to reach for my Distress Oxides for this, and I've gone in with tea dye and speckled egg. Tea dye is a really nice browny orange autumnal colour which will work lovely with these photos, and speckled egg, George, my nephew, is wearing a blue tracksuit top, and I thought I wanted to pull that blue out into it more, and he and Oliver have both got blue jeans on too. So just dampening it down with my water mist and then using it like a watercolour just to build up the colours, and I want these colours to blend into one another as well, so you'll see how I do that. And now that I'm happy with that placement, I'm just going to come in with these extra pieces that I cut off and mount them onto foam pads, just so that I don't forget where they were going, because you saw at the beginning it took me quite a while to get the positioning, so I don't want to lose that. So although the paint is wet, I'm still going to go over with these pieces, because the foam pads will protect the paper from absorbing any of that mixed media. So just carefully positioning them where they're going to go. Obviously some pieces don't even touch the mixed media anyway, so that's fine. And getting them all popped down. And now that mixed media is all dry, I'm going to start positioning the photos and doing the embellishing. So first of all, mounting this 4x4 piece onto some scrap white cardstock and cutting that out, and then I'll mat it onto a navy blue piece of paper from the 6x8 paper pad, just to make it pop off the page. The other pieces I'm going to keep just on the white background, because I shall pop the top one up onto foam pads to make it stand out more. So starting to go through the ephemera. This is a tag I cut out previously from a patterned paper that I want to use, and then all the pieces in this box are from the papery pack. I've kept the cardstock back, which is on top of the lid there, just so that I can see roughly what's in there. Obviously I've used some pieces, but it just gives me an idea if I wanted to have a quick look through to see what was there. Now this piece that I've picked up here has a collection of moments on it, which I thought was appropriate because we've got so many photos. And then that blue one there says fantastic. So I'm just working my way through. At first I'm thinking about adding lots of ephemera along this bottom piece, but then I realise it's going to cover up so much of that mixed media. I don't want to do that, so I start doing it, but then I'll quickly change my mind. You'll see in a minute once I start adding things, I suddenly realise it's not really going to work for me. I think it's at this point. Yeah, so start pulling them out and start again. So it's hard when you don't really have a clear idea of what you want to do with the layout. You just have to try different things until you can see the direction you're going in. So by putting this washi tape ticket down at the bottom here, I realise I want to start building pieces up this left hand side of the page, not too far, but just above the mixed media, just to create a little cluster. So just folding over the edge there. There wasn't enough to keep, so it's easier just to fold it over. And as I say, just slowly building pieces up and deciding what I want to put. So I'll leave you to watch me doing that. And now I'm happy with this place and I can start gluing things down. I didn't want to leave it too long because some of these are washi tape stickers, so I wanted to see the overall look with the backing removed. You can't see as clearly when you've still got the backing on because these are semi-transparent, so I just wanted to see, like I say, exactly how they would look. And you can see how that changes. And again with this circle, when I put that back on later, you'll see how it changes. So just trying a few more pieces and then I'll start really getting things stuck down on here. Trimming that off. and adding a bit more. So this is another washi sticker. So now coming in with my 25mm foam pads from Sticks 2. I love these. Just going to mount, like I say, the top one goes onto foam, the bottom one I'll just glue down, but I want to get the top one positioned first before gluing the other one down. Just there. And then I'm about to glue this down and I realise I definitely want to add a pattern paper to the mat, just to make it pop a bit more from the page. So here I am, like I say, with that blue from the 6x8 paper pad. And I use that as a mat. And while I'm doing that, I noticed that I hadn't sorted these washi stickers out, so I'll go back and do those. I think my mind was a bit all over the place when I was doing this layout. Do a bit of this, a bit of that, but it all does come together at the end. So just checking that circle did still fit there, that I hadn't put the photos down a bit too low, but it's still fine. So just having to manipulate things a little bit to get it stuck under there. But see how the colour changes because it's going onto an orange background where it had a white backing paper, and that's what I meant about seeing how things looked once they were down there. So this is that tab that said a collection of moments. I really want to get that in somewhere. So that's just going to be popped down there. And now the big photo. I've distressed the edges and then that will just be glued straight down. And I haven't put those bits on the right hand side down yet, so that's my next task. And again, I move things and then forget where they were on the layout. This first tag goes back, but the second one I struggle with a bit more, remembering exactly where it was. I don't like the gap that is created at the bottom between the tag and the scallops. I also haven't punched the holes. I have to do that once it's been glued down. And then getting this navy lucky day tag down. And then I want to start looking through the other pieces that I've got from this collection. So first of all, the chipboard stickers. I'm just seeing if there's anything on here. And I think I choose a couple of the word strips. So yes, this one says This Life. It doesn't stay there, it gets moved up a bit, but that makes it onto the layout. And then another piece that says Days Like These. It just goes underneath that nicely. And finally a longer strip that brings in those bluey greens, and it says Just Another Awesome Day. I do love these phrases, they're just so generic and really great. And now I'm starting to think about where I want to put my journaling. In the sketch, it's not where I end up putting it. In fact, she hasn't put a place for... Oh yes, there's a little speech bubble, which I presume is where she wanted you to use for the journaling. I couldn't think of the word then. But it didn't quite fit for me the way I've done this layout, so my journaling goes in that bottom corner, which seemed very vacant. So I was happy with that. So just using some thread to go through my tags. Just leaving it loose. I'm still playing about trying to work out how I do my my thread on my tags. It's ridiculous. It's not a difficult task, is it? But I seem to make a meal of it every time. So just gluing that thread down in a couple of bits to keep it in place properly. And sticking the piece that goes over the back onto the back. And now I'm going to start working on the title. And the title is just Chester Zoo. And it does what it says on the tin. So I'm using the alphabet thickers from this print shop range. They're fabulous. I absolutely love these. And then this tag from the Papier pack, I'm just cutting in half, and that's going to hold my date. So trying a few more bits on this right hand cluster. I just want to fill in that gap on the right hand side there. So just trying a few bits. I didn't want that green piece, but this black and white one works perfectly. So I'll just glue that down and then cut off the edge, being careful not to snip my tag thread that's there. So I just tuck that down underneath and then I'll cut the edge off very carefully. And of course keeping that piece just in case. So starting to build up this journaling cluster at the bottom again. I'm much happier using that blue piece. I think the white that I tried the first time was just a little bit too stark. So this works better. I'm just building things up. And this ticket is a classic example of how the colours change when you take the washi backing off. And you could keep the backing on and just glue it down, but I took the backing off, and because of the semi-transparency you can see all the other layers through it, which I love, but it also alters the way it looked when I had it laid down just as a tag. So you'll see as this goes down it's much more transparent than it had first appeared. And I do like this, just thought I'd let you know, but I don't add it on in the end. So adding the date to that top label, 5th of April 2013, I can't believe it was nearly 10 years ago. And then this is a piece that was just hanging out on my desk from when I used a 49er Market collection, and it says "We Are Better Together," and I really like that for this layout, so I add that to that bottom journaling spot. So gluing down that label with the date on. And this other piece that I was playing with before says "This is priceless," and it's from a Cocoa Vanilla collection. Again, just one that I've got in a little pot on my desk that I want to add somewhere. And my journaling, I just put "You were all, with Grandpa's help, absolutely determined to get on that elephant together. Ultimately 5 was just too many." So positioning that piece from Cocoa Vanilla, "This is priceless," and then just tucking in one more of those ink splats. I do love these. So apart from the mixed media at the bottom, I haven't actually added any more mixed media, which is unlike me, no more splatters or anything like that. So while I'm just finishing off these final bits, please do remember to check the description box down below to see everybody else who's joining in on this hop. It's a fabulous hop, so do check out the other creatives joining in. There are some amazing renditions of these sketches. It's fantastic how differently everybody interprets them. So just at the top here on the left hand side, I felt like it was a little bit too empty. The rest of the layout is so full, it just felt too much bare space. So just creating another tiny little cluster at the top here. And that's the end of the layout. So I shall leave you with some close-ups and a final image of the layout. Thank you so much for joining me. Please do like and subscribe if you enjoy what you're seeing from me. And other than that, I shall see you tomorrow for the next sketch. Thank you so much. Bye for now.